Hello, 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 and welcome back to After the Snap. This is, for the first time in a long time, a weekly wrap up. And our weekly wrap up, we're going to talk about Paramount Global's attempt to sell. Uh, Paramount Global is supposed to be for sale. So the whole idea is that we could put our little money together and we could put a bid in, right? Or we could just talk about the people who really did put bids in and then see where it is that we want this thing to go. So that is exactly what I plan to do today. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the party. If you'd like to make a donation to the Paramount Global Trust Fund, you could go ahead on and do that. And just to talk about the little bitty elephant in the room, we've got our executive producer, Amira, in the place with us today. She decided that she wanted to make sure that the stream went smoothly, so she joined me. And maybe for just maybe half of the stream. She might not be here the whole time. Depends on how well I'm doing. She might trust me to get work done. But before we get into the whole Paramount Global thing, let's talk about some things that have jumped off this week, or actually today, before we jump into the stream. Because once I get into the stream, I'm going to want to just shoot on through it, and then we'll talk other stuff on the other side. We have lost today Carl Weathers. And y'all might remember Carl Weathers as Apollo Creed from Rocky. As, oh God, I can't remember the character. He's from The Mandalorian, though I can't remember the name of the character. We've seen him. Hey, Win Grace. Yeah, we've lost Carl Weathers today. At 76 years old, he recently had a birthday in the middle of January. And his family has announced today that he has passed away. And it's such a heartbreaking thing because I was so looking forward to seeing more of his character in The Mandalorian and then his work behind the camera. He did a few episodes of The Mandalorian that I can remember. He had been honing his craft behind the camera as well. 76 years old, gone too soon. Even though 76 is a good run, but he's gone too soon. Carl Weathers, we lost him today. I'm trying to think what other news that I see today. The only other thing before we get into the stream, because I did start early because I had company here and I wanted to see how she's going to act. The other thing, we talked the other day about the Kansas City Chiefs fans who passed away in their friend's backyard, and there was a lot of questions and intrigue surrounding the deaths of those three Kansas City Chief fans. Today, a member of the family who has not yet been identified has said that they had been found with THC, cocaine, and 3 times the lethal limit of fentanyl in their systems. So it's looking like more or less a fentanyl overdose. Now, this is still not to say that they knew. It's not to say that they knew they were consuming fentanyl. It could have been something that was put in there by the drug dealer or the drug distributor, drug manufacturers. This is a big production as far as making illegal drugs is concerned, but somehow 3 times the lethal amount of fentanyl was found in their systems. I thought it was safe to have her in here because she just likes to hear people talk. So you see her looking up at my mouth. She loves to hear me talk. Yeah, this is our executive producer. Executive producer Amira, she is here making sure that the stream stays on track today. Thank you so much, Marge. I'm just gonna get into it. We gotta. Well, that is a lot of drugs, girl. Yeah, 3 times the amount that it will take to kill you. It doesn't, it don't take much fentanyl to kill you anyway. They had 3 times the lethal amount in their system, and yeah, so yeah, that's what took them out. It looks like. Still waiting for more information, but I think it's almost safe to say that that's how it happened. You ready? Let's do this. Let's do it. Okay, so Paramount Global. Hey, Clarence. Good to see your face in the place. Makes sense, but it's no good. Yeah, it's right. No matter how you look at it, that's not what we wanted to hear. We didn't want to hear anything. I would have just liked for those 3 Kansas City Chief fans to watch the game and go on home to their families, and be prepared for the Super Bowl. But instead, you got a family who is mourning the loss of some of their loved ones. But yeah, we're gonna talk more about that and anything else you want to talk about on the other side. Let's get into Paramount Global, y'all. Now, I don't know if we are all familiar with what exactly is, but now you want to start talking. I don't know if we're all familiar with what is going on with Paramount Global. So we're going to start from the beginning. In the beginning, there was Sherry Redstone. Well, first, okay, Comic Palooza. I forgot about that slide. Comic Palooza. If you have any suggestions for a panel, anything that you might want me to talk about, I got a couple of ideas, but I am willing to hear from you all about what you guys would like to see us talk about this time. If really, you were so good. If we have another go of it, and I'm going to be submitting my pitch for a panel probably by the end of next week. So we'll have until then to put in our suggestions, and maybe we could choose. Just for topics, Marge, because look, I find it hard to believe that we'll get too many people wanting to be part of the panel, to make the travel. I would not be upset if anybody else would want to travel. We had Clarence and Jonathan from Discussing Trek did it with me last year, and hopefully I can get them again. We got all these babies and stuff now. But hopefully we can do that again. If not, we'll talk about it more as it gets closer. But I do need to at least submit a panel and submit a pitch and give them an idea of what we would be talking about if we were to do another panel. So there's that. And is it specifically about Trek or other series? I'm more into the Trek side of things. I could be finagled into putting in for a second panel about something else, because I'm also very strong with the MCU. I'm strong with DC. So, but I gotta talk about my baby. That's the reason why I'm here. Star Trek is my baby. So okay, now we can talk about more about Comic Palooza on the other side too. We're going to start from the beginning. Who or what is going on over at Paramount Global? Well, the decider, the person with the controlling stake of Paramount Global, is Sherry Redstone. Her title is the president and CEO of National Amusements Incorporated, non-executive chair of Paramount Global. The paper value of Paramount Holdings is about $1 billion, And the companies controlled are National Amusements, Showcase Cinemas, Paramount, CBS, and that family of, of, of television and movies and media. Hey, David, so glad to see you. Glad that you could join us today. Amira is all of a sudden she wants to talk. You sat here quiet for all this time. Okay, let's move on. So we talked about Sherry Redstone, and there were questions about whether or not or why Sherry Redstone would even want to sell. Now, via Bloomberg, and this is an article that came out in Bloomberg on January 28th of this year, Sherry Redstone has been defending her family's media empire from potential suitors for more than a decade. She ousted her father's lovers, who had designs on his fortune. Then it was his lawyer, Philip Dolman, followed by CBS chief Les Moonves. That was the most recent ouster that I can remember. She's rejected inquiries from Netflix and former employees interested in buying pieces of the Paramount Global empire. Now, 4 years after merging with Viacom and CBS, she's ready to sell what was once one of the most valuable media companies on earth. The state of Paramount has only deteriorated in recent years, both in terms of its earnings and its share price. And it's not clear how it's going to get better soon. So the cable networks are losing viewers, advertising sales are going down, and the streaming services lose money. So Redstone has made her preference clear to anyone who will listen. She wants out. So fortunately for Sherry Redstone, people are interested in buying the company. We're going to get into a lot of the people, or at least the ones that I'm aware of, in just a few minutes. But the most aggressive of these suitors is David Ellison. David Ellison is the mind behind Skydance. And again, we're going to talk a little bit more about Skydance in a minute. This child here is hungry. And now she wants to act up. Clarence says good for her, fighting for her family legacy, but she wants out now. I think she's tired at this point. She's fought the good fight for a long time. When Grace says Les, who killed Star Trek last time, glad he's gone. Yeah, Moonves was a mess. He is a mess. Wherever he is, Star Trek is better for it. So we're going to start getting into the players, the people who want to or who are interested, as far as I know. Now, I know that there might be a lot of people like us, our little group. We're interested in buying Paramount Global, but we don't even have money to get in the conversation. These are some of the players who have money to get in the conversation. Also, be thinking to yourselves, how would you go about it? If we had the money, what would you want to see happen to that media conglomerate? Or is our concern mostly selfish, and is that for Star Trek? Let me know in the comments. Oh, Justin, you might have to work tonight. You're gonna take a night before your nap before your overnight shift. Well, we're glad that you were able to join us, even for a little while. I got this child has just decided that she wants to start acting out. Grandma would have left you with Daddy. If I'd have known. As a matter of fact, I'm apologizing, but before we get into players, I want to be able to just run through them instead of having to fight with her. So if you don't mind, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to put us on a little bit of a timeout so I can take her to her parents. I don't know how I thought that was going to work anyway, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Oh man, you got 20 minutes left to work, Clarence. Okay, so let me go into the players. First and foremost, because this was the one that most people were unfamiliar with or familiar with, but just couldn't remember how he got this money. And that is Byron Allen and the Allen Media Group. So in January 2024, the Allen Media Group offered $14.3 billion for Paramount Global, which includes $28.58 per share for voting shares and $21.53 per share for non-voting shares. And the bid also includes assumed debt. So he would be taking on quite he would be taking on quite a lot of debt that Paramount owes as much. I think that would bring, if I remember correctly, it would bring his bid up to right around $30 billion. Now let me see. We're gonna come to this in just a second, Clarence, because okay, so who is Byron Allen? First and foremost, he's what I guess we could consider a powerhouse in the entertainment industry. Um, doop de doop de doop. He could be considered a powerhouse. He started off as a stand-up comedian and a TV host in the late 70s and 80s, and then the game changed for him. He shifted gears and he founded Entertainment Studios in 1993. Now, he is the founder and CEO of Entertainment Studios, which is a global company that owns assets in film, television, broadcasting, digital media. It's got offices in Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Atlanta, Raleigh, North Carolina. Has 7 high definition cable networks, including Cars TV, Comedy TV, ES which I'm not 100% what that is, Justice Central, My Destination TV, Pets TV, and Recipe TV. So he became the youngest comedian to appear on The Tonight Show in 1979. He's also worked on Real People and Case Closed. And he's hosted Entertainers with Byron Allen since 1993. Good Lord, that's a long time. Let me go back to my notes here. Now, he hasn't been without a little bit of controversy. And the one thing that stands out to me, 2 things. In 2014, he filed a lawsuit against AT&T alleging the company discriminated against his firm by not negotiating broadcasting deals for 10 of his channels. Now, the lawsuit was settled in 2015, and Allen was awarded 7 cable channels. So that was one of his events or his scandals. That was not even a scandal, a controversy. And then the other one was just a couple years ago. We talked about it on the weekly wrap up one weekend where he had also alleged discrimination, pretty much racial discrimination against McDonald's for, and it was some type of advertising where he wasn't getting some kind of share of advertising from McDonald's, and he made a racial discrimination allegation against them. I really don't remember how that one ended. I don't remember if that one ended up being settled or if the lawsuit was dismissed, but that is another thing. So earlier, or I'll say last year, Byron Allen wanted to buy BET Plus, which of course is the streaming arm of BET, Black Entertainment Television, and several people put in bids. Paramount did not sell to him or for Tyler Perry or anybody else for that matter. There was a lot of people who made the bids and they ended up not selling that arm, BET Plus. And of course, that begins the conversation as well about racial discrimination. Did they not want to sell these pieces of BET to Black man? Now, I don't have an issue with Byron Allen. I don't remember a lot. I remember his comedy. I did not know that he had all of these channels, and I'm really not familiar with what he's been doing in the past, say, 20 years. We do know that he has amassed a small fortune in what he's doing. The Black community, and I can't speak for all of us, but a lot of Black people had an issue with Byron Allen. And the reason they had an issue is that every time something doesn't go his way, he seems to say it's racial discrimination. And it very well could be racial discrimination. But there are issues as far as, the Black people that have problems with them. Their issue is that he makes his moves on the white side of corporate America. A lot of times he's married to a white woman, which I don't care. Love is love. Love who you want to love. But they feel like it's mighty convenient that when you have an issue, you bring up your race. And then when you don't have any issues, you just a self-made almost billionaire, right? So the whole relationship part, I could care less, but it does kind of strike me as ironic that most of the time that I hear Byron Allen's name being spoken, it's when he's trying to acquire something and he can't, because that's when he uses race. I'm going to pick up comments before we move on to the next player in the bid to get Paramount Global. So Marge said his name is very familiar. Again, it could be more familiar after you've seen or heard of some of the things that he has his hands into. Justin says he'd take it to a streaming platform as well as a national broadcast like back in the day, and will put money into physical media as well, since companies are moving on from it. But a lot of people are not. Yeah. Byron Allen would actually work for Star Trek fans. Clarence, you are totally right. Where did I miss Clarence's? Oh, yeah. Clarence said that as well. So Marge likes his resume. Clarence remembers the BET thing. David says, okay, that might not be cool. Those lawsuits are kind of scary. The stuff that he kind of gets himself wrapped up into when he feels like he is being left out of the room or left away from the table, so to speak. Hey, David, better late than never. You are right. Marge says, might he advocate for more Black-led shows, even Trek? That's a question I don't have an answer to. Now, another thing that I don't like before we move on from from Byron Allen. Another thing that I don't like about Byron Allen is that he wants to divide things up. He doesn't want all of Paramount Global. He wants TV and streaming. That's it. So movies and the such would all be going somewhere else. So he, in essence, his niche is TV, and he's trying to stay within his niche, and I respect that. But then we would run into a problem as Star Trek fans, and we would have multiple studios working. Now, I don't know if that would work for other people. Like, some people might feel like, the movies can be somewhere else and TV can be under this umbrella. because it didn't work out for Paramount Plus the way we thought it would, where all of the movies and all of the TV shows would be in one place, and that is what you would have to get. You would have to get Paramount Plus in order to stay on top of Star Trek. But now things are shifting and moving here and there, and we're starting to see the house become more divided again. Well, that is what would occur under Byron Allen for sure. He only wants television. He doesn't want movies and all that stuff. So let me know how you feel about that. If you feel like that's a deal breaker for you, if because it is to me. I still would like to see it all come together under one umbrella. Of course, we got Netflix over here with Prodigy, and then we got our movies are over here with, I believe, HBO Max has some of the movies now, and or not HBO Max, just Max, and we have the stuff that we got on Paramount. But it's all over the place, and it was more convenient for diehard fans for it to be all under one umbrella. David says Byron Allen's idea seems to be the trend. DVDs are fading away, but we need to protect physical media. We need to protect physical media. And I know that Byron Allen does have his hands in digital media, but I don't know how close he is to being a purist about physical media. And honestly, I wasn't a purist about physical media until was it Amazon? Amazon got a little sneaky, and all of the movies that I would buy digitally, I would buy them on Prime, and I would have them all in my library. And then one day we started to see where they were saying that you don't own these movies. Amazon owns the movies. So if Amazon decides to pull the plug on all of the movies that I purchased, they would have that right. Now I feel like I would have been better off just buying a DVD. So now I am very back to, we need physical media to back up the stuff that we have digitally. When Gray says, I honestly think this is the reason they are stalling in legacy and any real announcements outside of things already in the works. That could very well be the case. We don't know what tomorrow brings for Paramount. Why start this? Why start something else big, another major project? Clarence said, physical is just going away. It can't be helped. We need to do what we can to hold on to it. I really believe that that it's a catch-all, because if I go on Amazon and I'm unable to access all the movies that I've purchased digitally, I'm gonna be pissed off. And Justin is saying he wants it all under one roof and protect physical media at all costs. And I agree with that. I think we should. So now the next player in the game for Paramount Global is Skydance Media. So in January 2024, David Ellison, the head of Skydance Media, has been actively pursuing Paramount Global. Ellison has also discussed an all-cash bid for National Amusements with financial help from other Skydance investors. Now, let me see. So what is Skydance known for? Some people, we talked about this on our Discord, and if you're not a part of the Discord, I once again did not put the link in the show notes. I will try to go back and put the link there, but you can find us at After the Snap Fam on Discord. So anywho, we talked about it on Discord. Where do we know Skydance from? And I am so glad you asked, because Skydance already has a relationship with Paramount. In fact, 2 of our Star Trek movies from the Kelvin universe came from Skydance. We got Star Trek Beyond, we had Star Trek Into Darkness. So I'm already feeling a little bit more comfortable with Skydance just because we have a relationship already. I know that for the most part, they're going to look after Trek, right? But then when you look at other movies that have been part of their filmography, their resume, they got the Tomorrow War, which was something that showed on Amazon Prime, but it came out during COVID, and it could have very well been a movie that came out in the theaters. It was I thought the Tomorrow War was a very good movie. And then you had Top Gun Maverick, the second highest grossing movie of last year. Then you have there was a lot of Mission Impossible, I think, starting with Ghost Protocol and moving on forward. Fallout, but we also have the new Mission Impossible and the one that they are that's in the works now. Transformers: Rise of the Beast, Without Remorse, that was based on those Tom Clancy books, also Reacher. And not to mention, Skydance has television shows. Now they have deals with Apple TV Plus. I know for sure that is with Foundation, and with the TV show Reacher, they have that on Amazon Prime. But they have been known to do some good TV shows too. I feel more comfortable right now with Skydance. I am very impressed with what they have to offer. In fact, I'm gonna show you guys really quickly what else they have. Real quick, I'm not going to talk about them because I didn't do a lot of research or looking into some of these movies I'm not familiar with at all. Some of them I'm familiar with more than others, right? But let's look at the films that they've had their hands in, and I trust them because we see the I guess we see the fruits of their labor. Not to mention, they also do TV again. They do gaming. They got their hands in a little bit of everything, but they have divisions for each one of those things. And I do not think that Star Trek or any of the other shows that we might like on Paramount, I don't think they'll get lost in the sauce. And not to mention, we think you may think that we will get even better selections of shows and movies underneath Skydance. And I feel like I'm trying to sell Skydance. But yeah, there's some movies here. They got a good library when you really stop to think about it. Go back and pick up. Okay, so we're going to pick up from Clarence here. Clarence says, I don't mind it being in different places at this point, but I want central control and vision. That sounds good too, because it's all over the place already. You know, we can't put that genie back in the bottle just yet. David says, with physical copies, as long as you can get electricity, you can watch. Exactly. There are people who are living in areas that are not as well served with Wi-Fi and the streaming and all of this stuff, and we can keep those people as part of our family of fans. They don't feel as left out with the whole digital thing. Marge says she has all classic Trek on disc. You better hold on to them, girl. I wish I would have. The stuff that I did have, even my old VHS recordings. I wish I would have held on to that stuff, but I got comfortable with streaming and started doing the whole digital thing. And it doesn't take up any space and whoopty whoopty whoop. And then they tell me that they could take that from me at any time. I don't feel like that's fair. Clarence says Skydance is an amazing choice as well, at least for the movies. But don't you like Foundation? Because I think that, yeah, they did Foundation too, as far as television. If you guys want, I will go to the TV arm and show you what they have under TV, because Skydance is impressing me more and more. The more I look into what they are and what they're about, I'm going to share that with you guys for just for TV stuff. Okay, so they got Reacher, they've got Foundation, they got Fubar, they got Jack Ryan, which I loved. The Big Door Prize, Check Up, Grace and Frankie, that's Reacher again. Um, is that Foundation again? Okay. Condor, Altered Carbon. I didn't watch Altered Carbon. I'm tempted to go back and give it a chance. So again, they got some TV too. Do not let the smooth taste fool you. They are not just into the films, you know. They also have gaming, they also have sports. So let me see what their sports look like. Kelsey, they did that. That's streaming on Prime Video. Perfect time for that now, wasn't it? Air Courting a Legend. They got whoever Jason T. Reed is head of Skydance Sports. Yeah, they got their hands in a lot of stuff. It would be a very well-rounded studio, not to mention the stuff that we already know that is available and that we would hope would stay available with Paramount already. I'm going to pick up before we move to the next player, because I think that's where we are, is about to move to the next player. Justin says, trust me, a few years from now, we will all be complaining about it being gone. It's giving these companies too much power. Yeah. David says Marge is smart for holding on to her discs. Yeah, girl, I wish I would have done it too. Baby, how I regret getting rid of some of that stuff. Wingray says Top Gun and Mission Impossible are all Paramount too, right? Exactly. That's why I say they got the relationship with Paramount already. So, I mean, they've done big things with Paramount already. Clarence says it looks like Skydance lets creators do their thing. It makes him happy. I really hope that that's the case, because I guess you guys can see which way I'm leaning, but I am not trying to give it away, because we do have a couple more people or entities that are playing into where or this whole where is Paramount going to sell, or if they're going to sell, because we still have to entertain the fact that they may decide that they're not going to do it, you know. That to me, I gotta use baby's burp cough to clean my glasses. But yeah, there's still that potential, but we'll get to that. Skydance is they're like a media that word conglomerate. They are in production of films, TV, video games, interactive games. They are all over media, and they want to become a bigger player in the media sphere. Justice says Skydance looks like it could be a good pick, and Clarence answered the question before I did. Thank you, Clarence. David says he's almost caught up to us. He did see Transformers: Rise of the Beast, The Flash, Avatar: Way of Water this week, and he owns Avatar. Wingray says, yeah, we need a central vision. Prodigy said they just went ahead and put the Enterprise E and Defiant in their series because they just felt like it and didn't know who to ask to get permission anyway. So they just made a decision. Let's just go. And of course, you can't get mad, because if you don't know who to talk to, and somebody should have watched that and be like, hey, can we get that out of there? You know, so yeah. Let me turn off Skydance because it's Justice says you can still buy DVDs, but prices are going to rise up crazy in a few years. David said, how about us in Europe? And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. In Europe, I don't know how it's going in Europe though, David. If you can tell me in your comments here, do you all have access to Paramount Plus? If you do, are those things available to you? The new series and stuff for Trek, is it available for you at the same time that it's available for us? Because that would be something I'd also like to see be streamlined across not just the United States, because it's real easy to get tunnel vision because this is where we live. But then there are people in other countries who are having issues because we'll see something and they haven't seen it. And now by the time they, see it, we've spoiled it already. Yeah. David said 3 movies down, 200 more to catch up. You'll get there. Mm, David Lee is telling me I should definitely watch Carbon. First season is epic. I'm going to try to get into it because I think what happened is we got rid of because is that on Netflix? We had gotten rid of Netflix for so long, and now one of the kids got it, so I can watch stuff on Netflix now, so I can go back. um Now, David Lancaster says that DVD prices are incredibly cheap. You got Avatar: The Way of Water for $10. That's good. This would be a good time to build a library. I just think about my little sister because I thought I was doing something. I bought all my stuff on digital. She still has all of these physical copies of movies. She's got shelf upon shelf upon shelf of DVDs. And I wish I would have gotten into that. um, let's see. Okay, so I picked up all of those comments. Let's move and see who was next. Redbird Capital. Redbird Capital has expressed interest in Paramount Global assets. We don't know what they're offering, how much they are willing to bid, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about Redbird Capital. It is a private investment firm that focuses on building high growth companies. The firm was founded in 2014 by Jerry Cardinal, and it is based in New York City. Now, Redbird Capital's partners' investments are focused on the following sectors: consumer products and services, financial services, energy information technology, esports infrastructure, financial technology. What is it? Groups or people that are associated with uh, Redbird Capital. So some of their partners in investments are Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, LeBron James and Maverick Carter, AC Milan, Italian soccer team, Rajasthan Royals, that's from the Indian Premier League. And they want to deploy capital over time, apply to their in-house industry expertise, generate business platforms, produce assets with development upside, mitigation of downside risk through an extensive hedge program, and limited exploration risk. I don't know what any of that means. And because it sounds like this would be their initial foray into actually owning a media conglomerate, one of the big studios, I'm kind of wary, even though it sounds like they would be money first. They would protect the bottom line. How far would you protect the bottom line? How far would you go? Would you say we can't do a series period because we want to protect the bottom line, or would we be doing this series more affordably? What would it mean as far as our content to have this group who is basically financial first, having them be in charge of Star Trek and all the other things under the Paramount umbrella? How will we feel about that? Because from all of the things that I just read off, like I said, I don't know what half of that shit means. I do recognize LeBron James, Maverick Carter. I do do recognize Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. What I do know about them is that they are very successful, and they have financial stability that would last them generations, right? But what does that mean for content? What does that mean for movies? What does that mean for TV? I don't know how those two things parlay into one another. So let me know if you got an idea of how Redbird would be a good choice for Paramount. I'm gonna move to the next one. Well, you know what? Before I move to the next one, let's pick up comments. I want to keep up with the comments as much as I can. Okay, so David Lee says, wouldn't dare to say how distribution works in Europe, varies by country. Here in NAL, you got to help me. We pretty much got everything at almost the same time as us, as all of us Yanks. Yeah, you called me a Yankee. I get it. I guess I am a Yank. Wingray says, if you invest a little time and money, you can convert all your physical into digital and store on hard drives too. And yeah, that sounds like something that would be outsourced. I wouldn't be able to do it. David Lancaster says, Walmart $5 DVD bin is full of treasures right now, but like Wingray suggested, once stock is depleted, the price and availability may be prohibitive. Yeah. Hey, Angus, good to see you, sir. It's just words. They don't mean anything. I don't know where we are. I don't know what that means. Oh, the stuff that I was saying, all the word vomit that was coming out of my mouth. Yeah, I don't know what that shit means. Oh, Claire said that's a no on Redbird. So at least you understood enough to be like, nah, I'm good. I thought it was the Netherlands. I did not want to say the Netherlands because I didn't want to be wrong, but I thought it was the Netherlands. That's one of my places I want to move to. Yeah, we can get DVD cheaps now, but in a few years they're going to probably go up. Yeah, I agree. Once they see that people are going to start trying to rebuild their libraries. Okay, our next player is Apollo Global Management, which has also expressed interest in Paramount Global Assets. I don't have any idea how much money, same thing with Redbird, except Apollo Global Management is one of the world's largest asset managers and private equity firms. Apollo invests across several asset classes and geographies with offices in 26 cities and over $500 billion in assets under management. Apollo invests across 3 verticals, which are yield, akin to credit, hybrid, and equity. Again, yep, I'm talking Espanol to me. I don't get it. You are a private equity. Let me go back to my notes to make sure I'm saying it right. They are a private equity firm. It sounds to me, and they have $500 billion in assets. And it sounds to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, that their job thus far, without getting into media, their job has been protecting assets. Now, while some of our film franchises, movie franchises, TV franchises would be considered assets, to what end will you protect them? That's the same question I had about Redbird. I don't know. Maybe it's something that I'm not understanding about these private equity firms and these capital groups that are trying to acquire Paramount Global. But I'm like, if your whole thing has been hoarding money, you got what they say, $500 billion in assets under management. If you've been hoarding money and finding ways for people to keep money, and that, I get it. We do want your studio to stay above water, but how frugal will you be if that's what your job has been for decades? So I don't know about Apollo Global Management either. This is just how I feel. Um, David Lancaster has spent a couple months in the Netherlands, awesome country. And Marge says she'd like to get a sense that one of these players are interested in Star Trek. Exactly. I mean, it gets scary. They're like, are you only interested in Star Trek? No, I want you to be interested in this whole thing. But I also want to know that you are not going to impede upon the creators in Star Trek. Let the creators create across the board. Give Star Trek its due diligence, because we are one of the anchors of Paramount. But at the same time, spread the love. Spread the love. Don't get too caught up in Star Trek, because then you start meddling, and I don't like meddling. David Lancaster says we need a couple billionaires in our chat to champion our cause. Yeah, because right now, we've got pledged. Was it Dreamwalker said he had $1,500? I don't know how much of that $1,500 he gonna put towards Paramount Global. I got 75 cents. So far we got $1,500 and 75 cents. True, no meddling. Yeah, I don't want no studio interference stuff. I think I got one more player. Can you guys guess who that player is? It's Warner Brothers Discovery, y'all. So as of December 2023, Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount Global were reportedly discussing a merger. The merger would combine the two media companies, which could have a market value of $38 billion. $38 billion. So let's talk about Warner Brothers. And I think everybody is familiar with Warner Brothers. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze, I think. Gosh, it feels like it's going to come, but it's just not coming. Warner Brothers Discovery is a leading global media and entertainment company that creates and distributes the world's most differentiated and complete portfolio of content and brands across television, film, and streaming. And this is all according to Warner's website, okay? So this is not my opinion. This is what they say they are. Available in more than 220 countries and territories in 50 languages, Warner Brothers Discovery inspires, informs, and entertains audiences worldwide through its iconic brands and products, including Discovery Channel, Max, Discovery Plus, CNN, DC, Eurosport, HBO, HGTV, Food Network, OWN, Investigation Discovery, TLC, Magnolia Network, TNT, TBS, True TV, Travel Channel, Motor Trend, Animal Planet, Science Channel, Warner Brothers Motion Picture Group, Warner Brothers Television Group, Warner Brothers Pictures Animation, Warner Brothers Games, New Line Cinema, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, Turner Classic Movies, Discovery in Espanol, Hogar de HGTV, and others. So, do we want them to have Star Trek and shit too? They got everything. Now, would it make sense for them to buy Paramount? Yes. It would absolutely make sense. It would 100% make sense. Are y'all for it? Would you guys be okay with Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery merging? It would be building another monopoly. We already have one little monopoly going on over there with Disney. And you know what? I love Disney. Please don't get it twisted. I'm not one of these Disney, but they don't need nothing else over there. And I don't know if Warner needs anything else. They are starting to have, we're going to have just monopolies, just mega corporations running everything. And I don't know if that's fair. I don't know if it's fair, and I don't know what it would end up meaning for the Star Trek brand. Now they got the money. Um, yeah, they meddling in your business if you're a creator. Yes, they do. But we know that they will be here tomorrow. It's not like the bottom is going to fall out completely, I don't think, of Warner Brothers Discovery. Um, and that's a merger that just kind of more or less recently happened. But it's not like the bottom is going to fall out anytime soon. So if they were to acquire Paramount, would things be safe for a little while where we could breathe a little easier? Because right now Paramount is floundering. So our baby ain't safe floundering with Paramount. But if Paramount went under the umbrella of Warner Brothers Discovery, would that make it a safer bet for them to be acquired by Warner? Tell me what you think. I'm going to pick up comments while you guys start telling me how you feel about the Warner situation. Clarence got 5 on the whole Paramount thing. All right. $1,505.75. We are. Oh, David Lancaster is matching. So now we have 1510.75. When Grace says, "Oh, that way we will 100% get a Scooby-Doo Star Trek crossover." And I don't know, when I was a little kid, I used to like the little Star Trek, not Star Trek, the Scooby-Doo with the Super Friends, a Scooby-Doo with Abbott and Costello, or Scooby-Doo with Don Knotts. I don't know how I will feel about Scooby-Doo with Star Trek. It might be something I like. I might like it. Klingon Game of Thrones becomes real. Yep. That we can just go ahead and sign it up. They would definitely do it. Justin says, you're right, David. There is startups getting license rights to make new DVDs of older stuff. So that is good. The companies are at least letting that happen for now, but it will be a special order. We still talking about that Klingon Game of Thrones. I think that would be awesome. Angus would be for it. He said if it improved DC and Trek movies and shows. I don't know how it would improve DC, even though, and we could talk about it a little bit more after we get through this one last slide that I have prepared for Paramount. James Gunn and the stuff that he's doing. We did talk about it. We talked about it the other day. I forgot. And Clarence, I feel that could be a problem too. With WB, Trek would get lost in the sauce. You got so much going on. They've got so many franchises, and just it's a lot going on. And I'm not tripping that they wouldn't be able to find a way to make it work. But would they? How much attention would they initially give Star Trek? Because they've got so many other things happening. David Lancaster says, as long as they don't interfere with creative control, doesn't matter who's in charge. Marge says, I say we bring in Byron Allen for an interview. We need to sit him down and see where his head is. Wingray says, I think they've learned from Gunn and the DCEU and would definitely hire a Star Trek overseer. Yeah, I would hope. I would hope. Oh, that was just you. I would hope that they would still use the what do they call it? Vice president of Star Trek, blase blah. And then you have your writers' rooms with a room full of people, and they have to, there's checks and balances, but the buck should stop with the VP of the creative control of Star Trek. It shouldn't have to go all the way up to the top of to what's his name, Zaslav. I forgot his first name. Shouldn't have to go all the way to the top to him. Maybe seeing the finished product and all of this stuff, signing off on it, but not trying to tell you what direction a movie should go into. And unless you are truly a fan, if you Kevin Feige, and even he has bitten off a little bit more than he can chew. over the last couple of years. Um, so you okay? So Justice says Byron Allen, Skydance, and Apollo should be interviewed. Well, if you want to know how I feel, I'm pretty sure you can almost guess how I feel. I am Team Skydance, y'all. I'm Team Skydance. Um, they would have the, okay, they've already got a proven track record. They've already got a relationship with Paramount, and they would already show us that we can do this. We're already doing it at a large scale, a successful scale. They were one of the quickest in studios, production companies rather, to have a billion-dollar movie. And then they repeated that success, and they continue to incrementally repeat that success year after year. They're grossing billions of dollars. Not only that, because they could focus. Yes, you got Paramount. You still would have Mission Impossible. You still would have the Top Gun universe. You still would have Star Trek. You still got Transformers, G.I. Joe. Ain't G.I. Joe under them? No, it might not be G.I. Joe. It might just be Transformers. But you see what I'm saying? There's room to focus. It's not like, as Clarence was saying, it's not like Warner, who already has a bevy of franchises that they are already juggling. And then you bring our franchise over there, and where will we be? I'm I'm not big on the Warner thing. To me, Team Skydance. But if I had to choose a second, it would be Warner. If I had to choose a second, it would be Warner. And I can agree with you all when you say it doesn't matter if it's all under one umbrella. But personally, for me, I would want it to be all under one umbrella. And that is why, the only reason why I would exclude Byron Allen, because I know that he is, the part of his plan is to separate things. He only wants certain arms. Let me see. Gosh, I can't find where I was. Oh, okay. Um, Justice says, rest in peace to Carl Weathers and prayers to the fans, family, and friends. He was a legend. He will be missed. I cannot believe that when it came across my phone today. And as I was about to post it, Clarence posted it as well on our Discord. Carl Weathers was 76 years old, lost his life today, or at least it was announced today by his family. And yeah, we're gonna miss him. Mandalorian is not gonna be the same without him. Now, Mus 95, you said Byron Allen will buy Warner Brothers this year. Warner Brothers has been for sale for every other year, any damn way. So it would not shock me. It would not shock me at all. I don't know where he would get the capital to get Warner Brothers. He has got the capital for Paramount. I don't know how he would get Warner. That's some money. Warner is some money, y'all. That ain't small potatoes. Yeah, Angus, Carl Weathers passed today. Yep. So that's it for my little presentation now, y'all. What we gonna talk about now? What are we going to talk about now? Justice said Skydance over Warner. I'm out on Warner Brothers. Yeah, I want to see Skydance do it. Again, they have a nice filmography. They TV, they've shown that they can make very good television. Again, I didn't even talk about games and animation and all of that. They got that under their umbrella as well. I think that would be a win. That would be a win for Star Trek fans. Now, if that were to go down and in a year from now we feel completely differently, let's bookmark this stream. Because how enthusiastic I am about Skydance today. You know, today might be one thing, you're feeling one way, and then tomorrow you find out that ain't what you wanted. The devil, but I still feel like the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. And that's why I think Skydance and Warner would be the best case scenario for Paramount in that order: Skydance, Warner, and I don't know about the other. I don't, Byron Allen seems safer than the equity group, Apollo, and the Redbird Capital Group. I don't know a lot about them. So, and then there's also the opportunity or the chance that after hearing all of the bids and hearing all of these offers, Sherry Redstone saying, "No, I'm going to keep my family legacy intact." She already kept the vultures from getting it, which, like we said, that is she protected it from those people who were just hanging around her dad to put themselves in position to own a piece of the pie. She got rid of all of those hangers on, and now she can basically sell it to whoever she wants. And she's put herself in a position of being the boss, which she is. She was. She will be until she sells her stakes. Said Wingray says, but would Skydance want to do 5 or 6 shows at a time, or pull out back to 2? Don't know. All I do know is that they have television shows out like right now. So they have some that they do with Prime. They have some that they do with Amazon. So they not Amazon is Prime with Apple. And the question that I ask myself is, when the deals end that they have right now with Apple and Amazon, would the shows that they have produced for those channels or for those streamers come wherever they are, which best case scenario is Paramount Plus. So if they were to all bring their shows, you're beefing up the catalog of Paramount. Get more eyes, more people would subscribe, because if you got shows like Foundation and Altered Carbon and the stuff that people like over on Paramount Plus, more people will subscribe. If you get more sports, some of the sports that they have their hands in, and the sports content that they have their hands in, if you bring that to Paramount Plus, you'll get more eyes on Paramount Plus. And the more people that are subscribing to Paramount Plus, the better it is for Star Trek. They would be able to afford to put out a couple more shows if they wanted to, or a couple of movies, or so the questions, it's a very valid question. But then with the rest of their catalog and whatever else they can bring to the table, will that increase Paramount's success so that it increases Star Trek's success? Wingray says there's also the potential they get rid of Paramount Plus and go the other way and license out all those properties to Prime or Apple and make money that way, like Sony does. But if I remember, and let me go and see if I can find if I remember, one of the things that David Ellison wants is a streamer. And then let me put my glasses back on. What did I do with them? Oh, over here. Let me see. Doop de doop de doop. I can't. I can't find. Oh, wait a minute. And before, because I know some of you were saying, because I ended up reading a part of this article that I didn't read out loud. And this is us talking about Byron Allen again. Okay. So it says if Allen manages to buy the company, he plans to sell the Paramount Film Studio, real estate, and other intellectual property while keeping the TV properties, including its Paramount Plus streaming service, run them on a more cost efficient basis. So that is back talking about Byron Allen. And that's why I say Byron Allen, that it doesn't sound good with him getting it. Now, again, this has nothing to do with who he is what his ideas are for the company. I thought I saw where Ellison, and I could be wrong, where he wants the streamer, which would play right into, again, keeping things a whole lot like they are right now, and maybe expanding. But don't quote me on that. Dreamwalker said, "Hi, did Paramount accept our offer? We haven't heard anything yet, but the offer has risen. It was $1,500.75. Now we are up to $1,510.75. So see, we're moving in the right direction. We're moving in the right direction." Justice said, "Nah, Byron is out now." Yeah. So Byron would split the Trek films and shows again. He said he would sell intellectual property. So would he sell Star Trek completely? Then we'd be sitting here worried about something else. Would he sell? That's got to be one of the most valuable intellectual properties. One of them, I'm not saying the most valuable, but it's got to be one of the most valuable intellectual properties that Paramount holds. That is more scary when you hear that he would start selling intellectual property. Clarence said, "How would you guys feel about the above option? Do you think it would be possible for a few of the former and current Trek creators to just buy Star Trek? How would you even feel about that?" I would feel better about that. Yeah, because I would feel like it's safe, that somebody got it who loves it. If somebody has it who loves it and they take it elsewhere, I'm good. I'm good. And then I'm not worried about what goes on with Paramount or anything else. There's a couple of other shows I like on Paramount, but nothing like Star Trek. So if Star Trek were to find a home, the entire franchise, movies, TV, find a home elsewhere, I would love it. I would be 100% for that. Anyone who just wants Trek, now, I'd have to know why you want it. Are you just seeing dollar signs, or do you really have ideas for taking this into the future? Because y'all know, I mean, I say it every week. I'm about tomorrow when it comes to Star Trek. David Lancaster said he thinks it would be great. Marge thinks it would be a good Roddenberry move. And if Trek creators buy Trek, would they then sell it to a streaming service? How would we see it? I mean, shit. Yeah, they will have to eventually sell it to a streaming service. They would have to, but then at that stage, you could pick and choose. Damn, that would make everybody. That would put them all in different places, wouldn't it? That's a good thought, Marge. Good question. Wingray said, "That's an interesting idea. I remember when MGM went bankrupt, Joe Flanagan, the main actor from Atlantis, tried to buy Stargate, but was denied. You jerks." March, that's what we trying to do. We trying to buy Trek. Oh no, we were trying to buy Paramount, weren't we? Well, let's try to buy Trek. We got $1,510.75. I don't know how much more we'll need to buy Trek. Let's buy Trek. Let's buy Trek. Yeah. Good questions. Good questions. Especially like, what would we do with Trek if we bought it? Just start our own streaming service because that doesn't cost money. Called Memory Alpha. Oh, Marge got $100, so now we have $1,610.75. But I mean, if we were to buy Trek, you can start off putting it behind a paywall on something. So you could essentially have your old streaming service. You just put it behind a paywall on some and not like individually. You be able to access the entire Trek channel for X amount of money, but it's members only. We would clean the HE double hockey sticks up. And we would charge the members less than what Paramount Plus would be. And every Trek fan in the world would subscribe to our little rinky-dink streaming service. We would probably crash servers everywhere. Justin says that would be a great move. They could stream it. They could stream and put it on a national channel like in the 90s. Or Marge, she's got something going on your Patreon channel. Yes. You started with get a Patreon for just Star Trek, put it behind the little paywall. It's $3 a month, or you can offer us more if you want some new series, but $3 a month if you just want to watch the shit that's already there. And Win Gray says we can start our own channel. I'm thinking UPN sounds like a good name. Bueller. Oh, Dave says he got a huge video library. We could borrow them. We could have all of these movies that we have stockpiled and make our streaming service. UPN was everybody's jam for a little while with the little dancing frog. What did the dancing frog? The dancing frog. Old Fox 29 in Philly. Our Fox was 32 in the Chicago area. David Lancaster says we can call it Dave TV. Everyone knows a Dave. Oh yeah, get that old antenna out. Put that back on top of your TV. See how that works. Oh gosh, you guys are killing me. Oh gosh, David said he never put his antenna up. Oh, the dancing frog was WB. It sure was. It sure was. Well, shoot. I'm trying to see what else we got, y'all. What else? Anything? Because if not, I'm gonna take off. It was fun. I'm talking about the Paramount players, and who I don't want to see, and who I want to see, and hopefully Paramount is not playing because Paramount obviously is in some financial trouble, and Sherry Redstone she just wants out. Oh, so Buffy was WB 17 and the UPN 57. I can't remember. I just remember Fox. No, the WB back home was Channel 9. Yeah. And that was the dancing frog. So yeah, I have made my selection. If we can't buy it, we can't buy Paramount Global. I want Skydance to have it. If Skydance can't have it, I want WB to have it, even though that's like, to me, that's like the last resort is the WB. I got deleted. When did I get deleted? Where did I go? Am I not here? Can you see me? Oh, yeah, Marge can see me. Scott Anthony is. Yes. For me. And you might not agree. You don't have to. I think we all have valid reasons for wanting it to be, where we want it. If it's not with us, put it with somebody who will protect it. Put it with somebody who's going to protect it. Now I'm gonna have to eventually here find me something to eat, y'all. You still want Apollo? And the thing is, I just don't know what Apollo is about. I got to remember, what did we say it was? Apollo is largest asset manager in private equity firms. It invests across several asset classes and geographies with offices in 26 cities and over $500 billion in assets under management. Apollo invests across 3 verticals, which are yield, also credit, hybrid, and equity. Because I don't know what that means, because I don't know what that means, I don't know. That's why I can't vote for them, because I don't know what that means for the content. Thank you, Marge, for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me, especially on a Friday night, because I be forgetting that it's Friday. People like to go out and shake a tail feather on Friday, but here we sitting here together again. Yeah, Apollo does have a lot of money. They have a lot of money. Skydance has the experience. I agree. They got a lot of money. Well, shucks. I guess it's time to say goodbye to all my company. MIC. See you real soon. KEY. Why? Because I love you. A weatherman named Byron Allen? I don't know if it's the same cat. I don't know if he was ever a weatherman. He did all kinds of other stuff, though. Shoot. He owns the Weather Channel. In fact, he owns the Weather Channel. Bye, Justin. Get your little rest. Y'all, it's over. I'll see you guys next time. Live long and prosper. Peace. See you later. Thanks for being here.